Good evening and welcome to another edition of Seltzer, where we review all things seltzer. Now, if this is your first time watching Seltzer, let me let you know we review flavored seltzers, non-flavored seltzers, alcoholic seltzers, and non-alcoholic seltzers. We even review that great calamity which is responsible for all the problems of 2020, seltzer beers. Today, we'll be reviewing the tough-to-find High Noon seltzer brought to you by Breakthrough Beverage Group. Now, this seltzer today is supposed to have an advantage by having actual real vodka and real juice in its containers. That should give it a heads up and an advantage over some of our more predominantly distributed Truly and White Claw, which tend to have seltzer filled with malt liquor, which you can taste as that kind of aftertaste when you're trying to chug down a bottle of icy cold White Claw. You know, that may work for some of you, not. In full disclosure, we wanted to let you know that Breakthrough Beverage Group could not be bothered to send us any samples, so we had to go out on our own and track down this hard-to-find beverage. I'm sure that will have no impact whatsoever in our review today of their seltzers. As always, we have our guide on how we judge our seltzers here on Seltzer. We have our flavor notes sheet, which will help us determine as we sample each of our seltzers. We have bubbliness. We grade on flavor, nose itch, of course, and does it make me feel like a man? Then we'll take these scores, these feelings, these tabulations, kind of more of a gut instinct, and we'll pull them up together and give a final rating on the seltzer of our three tiers we go by, which is cat piss, tailgate worthy because really I'm just there to get drunk and it's hot outside, so this is good enough, and would an 18-year-old girl find this delicious? Now, some of you may remember from watching previous episodes of our channel that this used to be a 14-year-old girl. However, our legal department thought it was slightly better and classier and could avoid some complications if we upped the age at least to 18. We came to that compromise. So, without further ado, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this review, or the bubbly of this review, and start off sampling our High Noon flavors. We have, as tradition, we have the straight from the can approach we will be taking, as well as the glasses with some ice in case we feel that we need to sample it in that sort of regard. We were lucky enough to get our hands on 3 varieties of High Noon. Some more touted, we have pineapple flavor. Doesn't that look tantalizing? We have grapefruit. Ooh. This could be good or it could be, let's see. And we have the well sought after and respected black cherry. Now, black cherry, kind of has been the second tier family choosing of soda flavors, that kind of special demon in the wind, and not really something a lot of other alcoholic vodkas have gone to and whatnot. It's kind of that dark horse that's taken over quietly the underground of the seltzer world and seltzer community. The true aficionados seem to gravitate towards more and more of the black cherry. So we'll see if this holds up to it today in our review. Let's go ahead and start off with that actually traditional flavor. And look, we're going to actually go, no, you know what? Let's live on the edge here a little bit. Let's start with grapefruit. Let's listen for that pop and sizzle. Okay. Hear the seltzer? Do you hear the seltzer? It's kind of hard to pick up maybe on the microphone, but hear that. Let's get our initial thoughts. Okay. I'm going to take some notes down. So, initial thoughts there, pretty good. I like it. And then let's just pour it over a little bit of ice. Now you really get that's where the bubbles open up. You know, it's like in Scotch, you add a little bit of water to open up the flavors when you're doing a Scotch tasting. Same thing here. We add a little ice, and it really helps the sizzle come through, opens up some of the notes, and get the extra flavor. So, ice cold. So, first impression overall, pretty good of the grapefruit version of High Noon. It's got the right parts of that grapefruit, not that bitterness that made you hide when your grandmother tried to serve you grapefruit for breakfast in the morning, but instead that kind of like little bit of a tang without being too overpowering. That was really my concern going to this. Maybe that was going to be a little harsh of a taste, but not overall. So let's keep those scores going here, and let's move this right along. We're going to don't worry, we will be drinking in full these seltzers after the video, sharing with the crew. You can't see the crew, but thank you guys. You guys keep this program going. So thank you very much. Let's go on to our. You know what? Let's go to the black cherry. Let's go to the black cherry. Let's talk about this. Let's see, because I've heard good things about the pineapple, so we'll save it for last. We don't want to believe too much when we hear the hype first. So, all right, going into the black cherry. That dark horse. Workhorse, if you might say. Yeah, well, that's got. Does that have a little extra carbonation? Well, it might. Okay. Let's see. Let's find ourselves a little mason jar. Ooh. Now, the grapefruit was completely clear, but this one really embodies that black cherry look and feel where we've got a little bit of a dark cherry look to it down here at the bottom. You see it floating below the ice. And then it's got almost like a grenadine look to it, which is really, really interesting and really doesn't speak to the fact that it's actually a pretty smooth flavor at the end of the day, and something we can appreciate. And yeah, I can see why people are a fan of that one particularly. Well, so traditional. Okay, let me take some notes on that. Make sure we're keeping up. And the nose itch was a little light in my sense, but it made me feel like a man. That's complicated. Okay. So, moving on to our third choice here, which is the pineapple. Now, the pineapple was recommended to me by an inside source at the Breakthrough Beverage Group. But we won't name names here because we don't want to seem like we're name dropping in the seltzer community, right? I say? So, let's just go ahead and give it a try for ourselves. It's more of an echo sizzle, but in the mouth, it just dominates, just bubble balls in your mouth, just popping everywhere. It's really interesting. It's very different, I feel like, than maybe some of the other ones. Hopefully that's not a canning issue that they had at the factory. It's got a lot of zest to it, I almost want to say. Let's see how it reacts when we pour it over ice here. Let's see. Ooh, it's got a nice sound. It opens up a little bit. Let's move this to the side here. We don't want to seem like we're alcoholics here with all this on the screen. No, there are some non-alcoholic ciders in this group, so. An explosion of flavor in your mouth. You just want to swish it around, I find. I mean, that's got some pop to it. Whew. So it doesn't go, all those bubbles don't go to my head. So let's see how we do here. Okay. Now, if we look at this and I step back in my flavor notes and look at the score in total and kind of see where it really lands us on this spectrum of the taste chart here, I'd have to say overall very positive. You lose that malty 16-year-old drinking out of the back of someone's car. They bought it at the FEMA down the road. You really lose that, which, you lose some nostalgia with that. But at the end of the day, your hangover is probably going to appreciate you a lot more. So we're gonna say that's a positive thing here. No trip down memory lane, but overall very positive. Now, when I total up these scores and I figure out whether this is really more cat piss, would I drink this today, or I find that compared to some of the other ones out here, the more known ones, this really kind of raises the bar above it. And I do have to, despite our issues in tracking down this beverage on the road and some of the hype that we've heard backed up to it and whatnot, the advantage of the vodka and the fresh fruit that's in this, I really does say that it does make me feel more like an 18-year-old girl. I could find myself sitting by the pool in a bikini, drinking this all day long, reading magazines, talking with my girlfriends about how, Johnny just, maybe he likes me. I don't know. I mean, he sends me these weird text messages, but he's a really tough guy to read. He's so emotional, it seems like, and there's something brewing inside him. But overall, it does make me feel like an 18-year-old girl. So we're going to have to give it that 18-year-old girl score. Would really, really enjoy this high noon cider. So we'd say, try this out for yourself. It's right up there with some of the best beverages in the that Seltzer has reviewed in the alcoholic seltzer category. And we recommend, if you can find it, go ahead and get yourself a can or two and give it a nice swish through the mouth there and enjoy this fresh-faced beverage. But as we say always in this market, enjoy your seltzers responsibly. and practice social distancing unless Johnny calls, and then what can you do? So we hope you enjoy our review, and we'll see you soon next time on Seltzer.